this day's the day. Bad luck's always coming my way.
For today's Grimm adventure, we find ourselves in a place known as Brampton, Ontario. Today we're seeking out the filming locations to a movie that came out in the year 2000 called Ginger Snaps. Brampton, Ontario, in that movie, was Bailey Downs.
I think we should get together.
No. Out by 16 or dead in the scene, but together forever.
United against life as we know it. Let's get out of here.
What was it?
A big dog, maybe? Whoa.
Whoa, that's it? Whoa.
Think you see werewolves a lot?
Did I change last night? Howl at the moon.
How do you feel?
Wicked. This is a very confusing time for your sister. Boys, her body, trying to fit in.
Hey, take it easy. Who's the guy?
I think she's pretty. If I wasn't here, would you eat her?
Poor Bee. I'm growing up, and obviously you're not.
Oh my God.
You think I want to go back to being nobody? You're so dead. They're just being normal teenage girls.
I'm not dying in this room with you! I'm not dying!
I think she's gone.
You know, we're almost not even related anymore.
All right, wait a second. Let's talk about the movie Ginger Snaps for just a moment. Like I said, it came out in the year 2000, and basically it follows two sisters, the Fitzgerald sisters, who are played by Emily Perkins and Catherine Isabel. And Catherine Isabel, her character, Ginger, in the movie gets her period. And one night while the sisters are walking home, she gets attacked by a werewolf, and it becomes a werewolf movie. It's kind of a coming-of-age movie, a horror, supernatural coming-of-age movie, and it was very controversial when it came out, for reasons you may not think. Right now we're walking up a street known as Millstone Drive, heading up towards a park known as Millstone Parkette, which is a park here in Brampton. But in the movie Ginger Snaps, this was the neighborhood of Bailey Downs. You can actually see the Fitzgerald girls walking down the street looking very similar to this.
Hey, just say you won't go average on me. Just because some gonad gets his zipper going?
I'd rather be dead.
Rather die than be here without you.
Now, we reached out to the city of Brampton asking if they had any kind of addresses to the private residents in this area where they actually took the famous photos from the title sequence. It was the first day of shooting. I think it was like October 26th, and it was somewhere, probably on this road, but we can't find the exact address. But this place looks the part. I mean, you got, in a couple different scenes, you see a fire hydrant similar to the red one that you see right now. And then you see that garage right there. You see those two windows? You can see windows like that, and then these single door car garages in the scene. Now, this is not the exact spot. We've done a lot of Google Street View walking, if you will, trying to line up and figure out where the exact house was. But it's darn near impossible.
Too much blood. And I can see your gaunch. Just do it.
Now, the reason that we are spending so much time in this neighborhood trying to find the Fitzgerald house is because of those pictures. It's such a very unique and interesting title sequence that they did it on the very first day. They got together and instead of filming, they just took a whole bunch of pictures of the girls staging their deaths. And when they did it, the private residence that they used, there was a little kid living there, and they had to do it whenever the little kid wasn't looking. So they had to be creative because they didn't want to give the kid nightmares. That's kind of fun. Can't find it. It's around here somewhere. It's just like finding a needle in a haystack. Everything here matches up to the town of Bailey Downs and Ginger Snaps, but there's always just something slightly off. So it's almost impossible to just try to pinpoint what we're looking for. Everything just kind of looks the same. Now, right over here is the park, and there's a scene, or a couple different scenes. I mean, a big part of the movie happens inside the park where, well, the werewolf attack happens. A lot can definitely change over the years, that's for sure. But when we reached out to the city of Brantford, they did assure us that the private residence is near this park, more than likely on the street that we were just filming, which is that right there. But this park, even though there is a park scene, it doesn't really add up. I mean, you see the girls walking by a black fence just like that, and then they're in a wooded area, which there is a wooded area here, but it's right next to a major intersection. You can hear the trucks. There is a park here. Didn't expect the jungle gym or the children's park toys or, where kids can climb to look the same because, they have to update for safety. But I kind of don't think that this is the park from the movie. And I say that because when you watch this, you can actually see in a couple of the different scenes a house off in the distance. There's no houses like right next to the park here.
Sorry, I've just had it with eating on
When you think about it, it makes sense that they made Ginger Snaps here in this neighborhood because if I'm not mistaken, this is where the director is actually from. In fact, he came back here for a TV show called Orphan Black. The town in Orphan Black, you ready for it, is also known as Bailey Downs. But here's the thing. I know we're just kind of walking around telling stories and just lining up things that kind of look right. There's another bigger park further down the street that has more of a wooded area. So we're going to drive around some more and see if we can find anything. So from here on out, one of two things is going to happen. The first one being you're going to see what we found. Or two, we're going to go directly to the school that was featured in Ginger Snaps. That we can pretty much do shot for shot. So let it be known, if they did film parts of Ginger Snaps here at Millstone Parkette or on Millstone Drive, couldn't find it, but at least we're here. We put boots on the ground, we walked around. Let's see if we can find something else before we move on. Even though the story of Ginger Snaps, the plot, is kind of taboo, the story of a girl, a teenage girl having her period and turning it into a supernatural werewolf tale, what really made it kind of controversial is the time that it was being made. Now, whenever they were searching for funding for the movie, Columbine happened. And it became aware that there was these group of Canadian filmmakers who were trying to make a teen slasher movie inside a high school. And they caught a lot of problems for it. Eventually they were able to get it made. And the school that they used in Ginger Snaps is right over here, and how fitting is there's a school bus right here. Now, whenever the girls are sitting over there in their hangout spot, right where Jessica and our friend Tyler is, you can see these yellow curbs. They're watching the girl Well, the group of kids with the dog walking towards the camera. And you can see those curbs right there. And this is where they get the scene where they talk about they should kidnap the dog and feed it to whatever the animal is and blame it on the beast of Bailey Downs.
Let's do it.
When it comes to tracking down the filming locations, the Ginger Snaps, we don't have the exact address of the Fitzgerald house, but we know exactly where the school is. And the school is rather important for a couple different reasons. But before we get to the school, directly across the street from it is a convenience store. And this little hillside right here, right next to this tree, there's a bunch of trash here. This is where the girls, the Fitzgerald sisters, this is where their hangout spot was, right next to this tree, pretty much right where that black little crate stuff is. They would have been sitting right here talking about the beast of Bailey Downs.
She has that dog. We could kidnap it, make it look like he got eaten by the beast of Bailey Downs.
Pretty neat, right? And check this out. If we get a little closer, there's a really kind of like a close-up shot of both of them sitting there. And then you can see that white line on the wall. That's still here.
We've got all that blood and fake guts from the slideshow.
Yeah. That's wicked. Let's do it.
It's at this point the Fitzgerald sisters walk across the parking lot. And today it's all clean. It's actually a grocery store parking lot, but back in the day, there was a lot of weeds everywhere. And in this scene, you can see them walking right past this yellow stanchion holding up the light. And this is where we get the scene where the guy comes up to them and says, "Hey, Fitz, I think we should get together."
See, you'd let idiots get away with fucking you up. That's why the big Buddha made me. Stop them.
Yeah, so far you're really kicking ass.
Hey, just give me one clean shot. Just one, I fucking promise you. Nail
Don't
it.
humor me.
So, Fitz, I think we should get together.
Now, because this is a school, we're here on Sunday, so we're not interrupting any kind of classroom. So at this point, what we're going to do is just walk around the school and get the rest of the shots. They did film a lot in the back near the field, so enjoy. Now, there's a scene where Bridget is walking exactly the way Jessica's walking right now. And the guy's running up behind her, and he stops and he says, "Hey, I just spent the past week looking for you. You can at least give me a second." Now, when they do this, they pass right by the front of the school and you start to see the name of the school, Bailey Downs. It's actually a cover for Scarlet Heights Entrepreneurial Academy. It was all right here.
Hey. Kid, you got a smoke?
No?
You got a light then? Oh, thank you. I just spent a week of my life looking for you. You can give me a second.
And then pretty much the same scene, we see Bridget escaping from Sam from right about here. You can see the angle in the sidewalk and all the other kids just hanging out, smoking after class.
What's your name?
As we make our way to the back of the school, let's introduce our Ginger Snaps crew. Of course, we got Baby Ghoul, but we also have our friend Tyler, who runs the Great Canadian Halloween Market. Basically, you're the reason we're here. So thank you. You guys having fun?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, if not, I was going to feed you to the beast of Bailey Downs. We're now at the backside of Bailey Downs High School. And in the movie, there were some bleachers back here. Right now, I'm walking alongside the track. And even though the bleachers are gone, you can see where they once stood. There's this raised part of the grass right here. Now, what's fun, in the movie, they actually pointed the camera at the backside of the school quite a bit, especially with some of the kids sitting on the bleachers. But what I'm really most excited about is right over here at this end. You can see that box where Baby Ghoul and Tyler are leaning against. Now, there are two scenes that happen over here. One of them is when Ginger and Jason are making out. You can see the box. And this is also where Bridget and Sam meet and they end up trying to figure out a way to deal with the curse. That's a lot of fun. I'm so excited about this box. I'm like stupidly excited about this.
freak. Nice bird necklace.
Ginger, a word?
Once again, where the bleachers were standing is right where Tyler and Baby Goal are walking. But all of this should look familiar. There's a dog barking in the distance. I wonder if it's the beast of Bailey Downs. All right, there's a few more things that we want to point out. And for this, we got to kind of gives me some like the Faculty vibes or like the Breakfast Club going out on the football field. And that's right over here behind me. Oh, wow. I'm actually quite surprised that the goalpost here on the field looks exactly as it did from whenever they made Ginger Snaps. But it's still here. How cool is this? Bailey Downs High School. We now find ourselves at the side entrance to the school. And there was a scene that was done over here. You can actually see that there's a little parking area. This is where Ginger is in the yellow van smoking the dope. And in doing so, we get a shot from right over here of Bridget standing just where the grass is. And you can see that tree and the chain link fence and the basketball hoop behind her. Something like this. Let me go ahead and get in here like this. Something like that. It's close. And the door to the yellow van shuts. And then this is where we get that scene where she's like, you know, have you seen werewolves much?
Think you see werewolves a lot?
Something I noticed, and I love whenever this happens, whenever things don't really change. In this scene, you can actually see this little horn up here. It's like the bell letting people know it's time for class. It's in that cage. The cage is still there, and you can see that it is pointed in the same exact way in the movie. It's still here. They haven't changed it since 2000, whenever they made the movie. Well, Baby Goal, I see you have your backpack. Are you ready to go to Ginger Snaps High School? Can you imagine? Like, imagine if the story of Ginger Snaps was real and we were attending school at that time.
I would try to get scratched probably or bitten. I think I would maybe try to become an actual werewolf.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And of course, if you were a werewolf, you'd have to bite me. We have that pact.
Obviously, we made that pact when we got married.
What about you, Tyler? Would you want to go to Bailey Downs High School knowing that the beast of Bailey Downs was loose?
After I saw all that acne that poor boy had to endure, there is no way I need that coming at me at school or anywhere else.
Well, thank you both for joining us on our crazy adventure. Toronto, the Grimm Life Collective. I know what's going to happen. At some point, somebody's going to come forward, hopefully after seeing this video, and go, wait a second, I know where all this is. This is where this was shot, and this is where this was shot. Or even more importantly, this is where those opening title sequence photos were taken. Hopefully you do. And if so, let us know. We'd love to come back and document all that stuff, especially get inside and recreate, if we can, those title card pictures. It's pretty unique. With that being said, from Bailey Downs, the world of Ginger Snaps, thank you for joining us on another Grimm adventure. And until next time, happy Halloween.
Wherever I come, bad luck just comes my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. A bad luck's always a coming my way.